we're just gonna let him go, let him course venomous. Look at those patterns on his face there.
Awesome. Okay, guys,
Get out there.
let the adventure begin. Okay, welcome back. It's been a while. Before COVID, some of us even had COVID, middle of the year, and we're all clear now, and everything hopefully will get back soon to normality here. A crazy world we live in at the moment. And I'm just glad that we can do this again and show you all the animals we've got here in sunny California. And really, it is sunny. We had a heat wave. Bit too hot to go out, so we had to wait. So this is actually the first time we can do this again straight after COVID, and we are so fortunate, me and Joe, to have Danny with us today. Now Danny is an expert on reptiles, especially tortoises, and he's got such a big interest in tortoises. We were actually talking in the vehicle now. There's a specific type that he's trying to, they sort of thinning out, and these guys, they were talking stuff I know nothing about. They were talking about trying to save these tortoises and really doing good, giving back to nature, which really is important in this day and age, because everybody just wants, no one wants to give anything back. Well, these are the guys that give back. I mean, this guy, he's been working at Sunshine Haven for weeks now, setting up a rehab place for animals, injured animals, wild animals that people brought in from public. We'll do some videos there as well, and I'm sure we'll meet up with Danny there as well. I've got a funny suspicion that Danny's going to be part of our videos more later. Danny, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get into actually the interest in tortoises and reptiles? And you've got snakes at home as well, so give us a bit of input there.
Well, I'm actually from Northern California. I was raised by San Jose, and I had never encountered a desert tortoise in my life until probably the age of 31, yeah. And the first time I saw one, I was just completely enamored. It was just unlike anything I had ever seen in California before, and it just instantly became a passion of mine. Did a lot of research, just realized how much these guys are really declining, how much they need our help, and it just became a goal of mine to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
That's awesome. So what are we out seeing here today? We're at the secret spot, so we're not going to give the spot away. We don't want public and people rushing over here. What is so special about this area?
You know, I think what's most special about this area, we're here in the Western Mojave. As you can see, we're in a big creosote field, basically. This area in general, being not too far from a major riverbed, has a lot of nutrients in the soil. And the population, you'll see, it's very healthy. All the shells look amazing. You can tell they're not lacking of any of their nutrients. They're not lacking of any water. But the one thing that is devastating to them is the crows and the ravens that aren't natural to this area, that are really decimating their younger population. And really in this area, that's the problem that we're trying to solve.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never knew that ravens could do such damage, actually, and ravens and crows. And we were talking about it, especially the tiny little babies. They just peck right through their shells because he said they literally wait for them to hatch. You can see them waiting there. So yeah, and that's what they were talking about as well, trying to reestablish and sort of build up the population there. So before we go, we're in a hurry here. We've got just a short time frame that we can actually catch these animals and see them, or see them in their environment. Joe, what have you been up to all these weeks?
I mean, I've been busy working a lot, especially at Sunshine Haven. You know, like you mentioned, we're building a wildlife rehabilitation center there, so we can help local wildlife within, our hometown. So it's very important, and so it's really fun to get out back in the field, back filming with the crew again, to be studying these animals and bringing the education to you guys. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. We're in the Mojave Desert, the quintessential habitat of California. You know, we're right in between two different, we're actually surrounded by all these different ecosystems. So this area in particular, the Mojave Desert, is so biodiverse, and I'm so excited to be out here looking for desert tortoises, and with some luck, hopefully we'll find some other species as well, including snakes possibly today. So let's get out there and let's check it out.
Let's see what we get. Okay, well, I'm gonna follow these guys. even though we're walking around in the desert, there's still interesting little plants here, as you can see. Let's see, look at the shadow. Tiny little. I must be honest. Okay, guys. Danny just shouted there that he's got a tortoise, and I'm just glad we found something. We've been walking around here for almost 2 hours now. We got one. He promised us we'll get one, and he kept to his promise. He knows the environment. Okay, I'm gonna swing around and let's see. Okay.
Got our first tortoise.
Yay! Awesome.
Beautiful.
Ah.
A big looking male from right here. We'll close in slowly. We don't want to rush him. Take a look at him, see what's going on.
Good day, buddy. Good morning.
Definitely a male. He's got, so the males have these big glands under their chins. Basically testosterone glands, because these guys have the highest testosterone level of any vertebrae on the planet. And you'll see those chin sacs will get really big when they're in mating season, when they're gonna fight with other males. Yeah, he's a big one. He's a very good looking big boy right here. He's an oldie for sure. And he's not too intimidated by us because there's 3 of us right here and he's not all the way ducked in, so he's definitely not too afraid of us.
Age-wise, what would you say?
Man, that's anybody's guess. So for wild tortoises, conservative guesses say like a maximum age of 50, but most scientists agree that they live, we know that they live a lot longer in captivity. He's turning around, we're bugging him a little bit. It's hard to tell because they just haven't been studied long enough, and it takes a whole life cycle of multiple specimens to be able to get an average lifespan. So, you know, in the next few decades, as more tortoises that have been tagged start being studied more and start dying off, we'll get a better idea of what their life expectancy in the wild is.
Danny just spotted actually I think he knows about this one.
Yeah, so this burrow right here, I've seen this one before. There's a little male that lives in it usually. It's a shallow burrow. It's only about 3 feet deep, south facing, so it's facing the sun. Good burrow, more for colder times when he needs to get heat. A lot of, you could tell a lot of fresh footprints all around it, so he has been active around here recently. It's typical right at the base of a creosote bush. The roots of that plant just help keep the ground around it stable, help the burrow be more secure from cave-ins and stuff like that. So he's probably around here somewhere.
Yeah. What's really important about tortoise burrows is that they provide a lot for the ecosystem. Now, although they are built by desert tortoises, they're not the only species that will use this. Other species will use this, including other reptiles like rattlesnakes and lizards. They'll also come in here and use it as a cool retreat. Other animals like mammals and foxes and stuff like that will also use this. So it's really important that desert tortoises build a lot of burrows because it provides a lot for the ecosystem as well. So yeah, very, very cool to find a burrow here. Does let us know that they are in the area, and we'll probably find some today.
Now, question, could you tell a lot about the tortoise when you look at the burrow? Do they, or are all over the world, are they all the same size-wise? Can you tell that this is a younger tortoise actually because of the size? How does it work?
Well, first thing you need to know is that multiple tortoises will use the same burrow, so you can't really tell the size of the tortoise just from looking at the burrow. You can tell the size of the biggest tortoise that's been in there. Usually if you look at the width of the burrow is usually the same size as their shell from head to tail, so that they can rotate themselves completely around inside of there to turn themselves facing out and come back out without having to back out from the rear forward. So you can tell that the tortoise that big or smaller has been in this burrow.
Okay.
So with this burrow this size, it wasn't a very big tortoise that's been in this burrow, but there could be multiple ones still using it.
Okay.
And what's also cool is if you find a burrow, you're also probably going to find more signs of a tortoise. And this, like here, is tortoise pellets. It's poo. Now, I always love to find animal poo. For Gladys. Oh, there she goes.
Oh, wow.
Is that right?
Whoa!
Oh, you can. Are you kidding me? Well, I guess that's part of working with wild animals. Huh?
Part of working with animals. I've been pooped on all my life. I've been scratched, lacerated, whipped, nipped, bitten. You can call me weird, but actually you can find, it tells you so much more about the animal, what they're eating, you know, and a lot of times we're going to find the local grasses and shrubs in their diet. But what's also interesting is you can also find sometimes like rocks in there, like little grains of sand. And now that happens a lot of times by accident. The tortoises will eat them as they're, you know, feasting on their lunch. They'll accidentally bring in some grains of sand, but we find out that the grains of sand actually help digestion, and it's actually, there could be good minerals and stuff like that also provided through the dirt here. So it's very interesting to find this and to analyze what the tortoise is actually eating. Yeah, these poo is pretty old. It's almost petrified, which is really interesting. But go ahead and leave that there.
Okay. As long as you don't pull a bear grills on us and tell us there's nutrients in there and we need to eat it or something like that. You know.
Squeeze it out.
All right.
So, we'll keep on searching.
Let's keep on searching. Okay, so we found.
Check this guy.
Something here.
This is what we believe is to be a coyote skull. And the reason we're hypothesizing this is just because of how big it is. There aren't a lot of big predators out here in the Mojave Desert. You know, you have coyotes and you have foxes, and foxes are going to be a lot smaller than this. They have a much smaller head. Coyotes have a bigger head than them. And just check out all the cool things about this. You can see it's missing a lot of the teeth here, but you can tell how big the canines would be to fit in those little sockets there. Super, super cool. And some of the teeth are still remaining here, almost petrified. Wow.
That's super cool.
Yeah, super, super cool. This guy's probably been here for many, many years, just decomposing. That's a cool thing about the desert. You come across a lot of skeletons and stuff like that. They tell us a lot about the area. So very cool find.
Thanks. Cool. Thanks, Joe. Okay, so we just found another
Hard to see her head,
smaller one.
but her face looks female.
Yeah.
Look at this cutie.
Look how cute she is, so tiny. What a sweetheart.
And she's literally just here taking a nap. They'll stuff their faces right into the side of a bush during the day. Sometimes even at night, you'll find them like this at night if you're hiking around. And they just nap in here.
Oh, she's so sleepy. She's gonna take a nap. But check out these claws. Back, hind legs here. Look how long that is. It's literally about an inch long. And females typically have those larger claws. And that helps them dig the holes for their eggs.
That is extremely long.
Yeah, and like I said, they'll lay, you know, up to 3 clutches a year, so that's a lot of digging that the females have to do. So yeah, continuously digging. Oh, what a sweetheart. Second find of the day.
So quiet, yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, her eyes are closed and she's fast asleep.
Yeah.
She knows we're here. I'm sure she's not really fast asleep, but she knows we're here, but she's sleeping.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful little girl.
So this little depression here in the ground is actually made from a tortoise. Now, we've seen the bigger depressions that they can make, right? Like the burrows that can be, you know, anywhere from 3 to 20 feet long. But this here is actually used that before a rainy season, tortoises will dig this little depression, only a few inches down, so it collects water. So after the rain, they'll actually come out and actually drink the liquid water in here. And a lot of times, reptiles, including tortoises, are able to lay into a bath of water, and they're actually able to hydrate themselves through their anus instead of drinking it through their mouths like that. So they can actually relax and bathe inside this little pool while also hydrating themselves. Super interesting to find this, and as you can see, there's been like a few of them here. So this area, this little ridge that collects water, has been used for many, many years for the local tortoises in this area.
his nap in his burrow.
Let's see if the camera can pick that up in the dark. I hope we can pick that up. And what Danny's been doing is he flicks sand in there, and then sometimes, because they're so territorial, they think it's another tortoise coming in, and then they actually come out.
He doesn't seem to want to come out, so we'll just leave him alone. And he's the big male that I've seen here before a few times. He's a good size, about a 12-inch shell, so a couple inches bigger than the last one we saw.
Wow.
Actually slightly over 12, I think it's around 12 and a half inches. He's a big boy. Actually,
Okay, so we've been out here for a while now, and we got 2 tortoises. Saw many of their burrows, and very interesting actually. When you walk around the desert, from a distance it looks like there's nothing going on, and once you actually enter the environment, you just start to look around. You know, people should observe more. I think Danny and Joe were mentioning it all the time. People should observe more. Just see what's going on around you. You don't have to go to all these exotic places and places that look nice. Sometimes it's just that place, that open space just there behind your house or wherever. If you just go and you look around a little bit closer, you'll see there's a whole ecological system going on there, and there's little insects and little lizards and things fighting for their life. There's a war going on behind your house. You don't even know it, you know, and interesting things that happen. I mean, like Danny was just telling us how these tortoises, they fight for their burrows. That's their spot, and they've got a territory, and they get very territorial, and tortoises actually kill each other. I didn't even know that. It's big. they fight hard. Like you said, you actually stumbled upon 2 that were busy fighting once.
yep, absolutely. And they're fighting over a burrow, and that burrow can mean the difference between life and death if they don't have the right shelter at the right time. And you certainly see that when they're fighting. You can tell that it means something to them.
That's their house.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's their property.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like we just said, this is their home, this is their property, and we are just visitors here. So whenever you come out to the Mojave, which I definitely recommend coming out to the Mojave, you know, like Etienne said, come out, enjoy the habitat, enjoy the wildlife that's out here to offer, but also remember that this is their home, and that we want to, you know, only leave behind, you know, footprints, whatever that saying goes. You know, take photographs, leave only footprints behind, you know, and it's true. Pick up after yourselves, and just enjoy this beautiful habitat out here. That's literally in our backyard, part of our home. So yeah, we had a great day. You know, 2 tortoises and 1 in a burrow. So you know, what a hell of an adventure. And we'll hopefully get out here again sometime soon.
Stay safe.
Yeah, and stay safe.
There we go. Okay, guys, thank you, and thanks to Danny. Thanks for joining us. And I hope we'll have another opportunity seeing you and coming out with us. This is almost the end now of the snake season for us. We're gonna still try this. One of our friends, actually, she's a teacher, and she said they've got a lot of snakes. What rattler snakes they've got?
Yes, Southern Pacific rattlesnakes. So perhaps in the next episode we'll be out there in an alpine environment looking for the sopaks. So hopefully we'll see you then.
Okay, thanks guys. Cheers.